everybody, my name is Ashley Rush and I'm an independent creative memories advisor located in North Carolina. Today I'm coming back with one of my more popular series, Project Recipes. So if you aren't familiar with Project Recipes, this is something I've been doing on my channel for quite a while. Project Recipes are actually developed by Creative Memories for each and every single one of their collections. It's a cutting guide that you use to make a perfectly paired 2-page spread. But the beauty of Project Recipes is that they can be used over and over and over again. If you just switch out the paper, switch out the tools you use, they work with every theme imaginable. So I'll actually be using a project recipe from 2017. This is called our cap and gown project recipe. It was obviously used for graduations, but I'm going to be using it completely differently. I'm going to be using it with a more current collection, and it's going to be for like general family photos, maybe wedding photos, maybe family picnics. It'll really just depend. This is a recipe and this is a paper pack that you can go back to over and over and over again. To complete this project recipe, you're going to need your 12-inch trimmer, a pencil, a ruler, 3 sheets of designer paper. I'm using 3 sheets from the Our Moments collection, a coordinating piece of cardstock, the Border Maker system, including a Border Maker cartridge. I am using the new Flourish Vine, and then you'll also will need your tape runners. The first thing we're going to do is set some of this aside and work with our cardstock and our Border Maker system. If you aren't familiar with our Border Maker system, I have quite a few videos demoing them, so make sure you guys check the description for those. Once you have made one cut with your Border Maker system, you're going to need to trim that off if you are using an attached Border Maker cartridge. If you're using a chain Border Maker cartridge, you can move straight on to cutting the next border. I'm going to trim this one at 1 inch. All right, now I just need to repeat. We're now done with our Border Maker system. You can put it away. Once again, I need to trim this border off. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is take that cardstock, and you're doing it so that your 12 by 12 or your 12-inch line is in line with your cutting and your short end is perpendicular to your cutting area. Now you're going to make a 4.5-inch cut. Set your large remnant aside. We'll come back to that in just a second. You're going to give that 4.5-inch piece a quarter turn, and now you're going to make a 5.5-inch cut, and that is all the way to the edge of your trimmer. Now you've got 2 photo mats, one that's 4.5 by 5.5 and one that's 6.5 by 4.5. Set those aside. You're gonna pick that remnant back up and make another 4.5-inch cut, again with the long 12-inch side parallel to your cutting area. This little skinny piece is extra. You can set that aside, put it in your scrap pile. You're gonna give that 4.5-inch piece a quarter turn, and you're gonna make another 5.5-inch cut. All right, we are finished with the cardstock piece. You can put these in your pile to work with. All right, now you need to choose the base of your paper, of your pages. I'm gonna use these 2 gray sheets as my base. I'm really working outside of my comfort zone and using mismatching paper as my bases as opposed to being matchy-matchy. If that's not your style, that's okay. Choose 2 pieces that are identical to be your base. All right, so now I'm going to cut our decorative paper. The first cut you're going to make is a 5-inch cut. I'm gonna set this 5-inch piece apart. We will be coming back to it, but let's go ahead and make the other cuts first. All right, now we're gonna be making a 1-inch cut. We're actually gonna do that twice. Now you'll be making a 4.25-inch cut. Okay. This little skinny piece is extra. You can set that aside, put it in your scrap pile. You're going to take that 4.25 piece, you're going to give it a quarter turn, and now you're going to be making a 5.25-inch cut twice. This piece is extra, you can set that aside. You could also maybe use it as a journaling box later on. All right, we have one more cut to make. This is where we're pulling back out that 5-inch piece of paper. I'm gonna set my trimmer aside for a second. I'm gonna pull out my ruler. So what I want you to do is take your ruler and you're going to make a 1.5-inch mark along the bottom 5-inch side. Now I want you to give your paper a 180, and I want you to do another 1.5-inch mark. And we're just using a pencil there. You're done with your pencil, and you're done with your ruler. Now you're going to take your trimmer, and you're going to line your paper up on a diagonal so that you are matching those 1.5-inch marks. So I've got one up here, and now I need to find the one on the bottom. So you're just going to line them up so that they are on your cutting line, which is that first dotted line on your trimmer. If your dotted line is hard to see, maybe you've got a new trimmer, maybe you've just been using the same side for a long time, there is a way to check your cutting line. So when you put your arm down, there are little guidelines at the top of your trimmer that you can pop out, and you can make sure that your little pencil mark is hitting your guidelines. And you've got that at the top and the bottom of your trimmer. So I'm just lining up my guidelines here. Looks good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and cut. All right, we have now done all of the cutting for this recipe. You can set your trimmer aside. All right, guys, now it is time to assemble. I'm just going to put my base papers down, and I'm going to loosely assemble right on top of them. So the first thing we're going to put down is 1/2 of that piece we just cut. And then on the other side, we're going to match it up with the reverse. So we're getting really crazy with this layout. We've got different bases, we're getting different decorative pieces, the whole 9 yards. Now you're going to take those 1-inch colored strips, and they're going to go at the top, and you're going to use the opposite pattern than the one on the bottom. I really love this deep purple paper. What do you guys think? Alrighty. Your Border Maker strip is going to line up on top of the diagonal cut. Now it's time for the photo mats. You should have 2 4.5 by 6.5 photo mats. Those are going to go in portrait mode here. And then you've also got some landscape mats, and those are going to go here. And you're actually going to be double matting those photos. So when all is said and done, you will have room for 2 4x6 photos here and 2 5x4 photos here. The last thing we need to do is start adhering. And just like that, we're finished. What do you guys think of this design? I'm actually really excited. I'm going to a wedding this weekend, and as I'm putting this together, it occurred to me that this would be the perfect layout for those wedding photos. I'll be wearing a black dress. My husband's gonna be wearing a purple tie. Like, it's just really gonna pop. And the Border Maker cartridge we chose here really lends like a formal edge to these papers. I'm considering adding a border sticker along the seam here to sort of cover up the unevenness, especially here on the inner edges, but I haven't quite decided. I'm going to show you guys another sample I put together earlier, and this one I also went ahead and already embellished. So here I leaned into the blue, grays, and black. Now, what do you guys think of this layout? I love the cluster here. This was inspired by the PDF provided by Home Office. I showed you guys where to find that in a previous video, so make sure you guys check the description if you hadn't seen that. So I've put a cluster, like a title cluster here, a little bit of a corner pop here, and then finished off my triangle on the opposite page. This one I'm loving. It's manly, even with the flowers. I'm thinking this would make a great Father's Day photo spread, perhaps family photo since it's got this camera here. You know guys, I love this collection. It can be used for so many things. All right guys, what did you think of that recipe? And what did you think of the Our Moments collection? Isn't it beautiful? I love the pops of purple and the blue, and what you guys didn't see is there's also this really pretty yellow that coordinates with both, and together they just make a wonderful collection that is really universal. Did you guys have a favorite? Were you team purple or were you team blue? I'm really torn. I mean, I love the purple in this collection. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm also a big fan of gray. So together, like, perfection. But I'm really drawn to the blue as well. And maybe that's because I already went ahead and did the embellishment, so it feels more complete. Honestly, I love them both. I'm not sure I will be able to decide, so I'm really eager to hear what you guys have to say about the collection. I just want to thank you guys all for tuning in. I want to bring your attention to this lovely sign over my shoulder. I am currently on my road to 1K. So I'm so close. I've just got a little less than 50 left to go before I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. I can't even imagine that I am so close to doing that. It seems like I've been working at this forever, but it's really only been just over a year. So that's really exciting. As we reach the 1K mark, I will be doing a 1K giveaway. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I am really hoping that I can do this by the middle of May. Fingers crossed. So make sure you guys share my channel with any of your crafty friends out there. So speaking of your crafty friends, are you guys looking for more ways to connect? I would encourage you guys to find me on Facebook and Instagram. I do daily posts there, and that is the best way to reach out to me one-on-one and send me messages. And if you like any of the products you see in this video, make sure you check out my Creative Memories website. Right now, at this very moment, Creative Memories is doing an awesome giveaway. They have a spend get promo going on with 2 amazing tools. So I will link the description to that, and make sure you guys check out my website. It's only available when you shop directly online. And if you guys are looking for some more inspiration, why don't you come to one of my events? I hold in-person and virtual events, so there is something out there for everybody. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I couldn't do this without you, and I will see you next week. Bye.